And yours truly team finished a photo finish at Talladega in the ARCA race. Closest finish in ARCA history.
Yours only team, huh?
I see that. That was a hell of a show there, JB. I watched that actually just this morning.
Yeah, yeah.
I even with the picture taken, I couldn't tell who won the race.
No. We didn't know that kid had it in him. That was his first time.
That sheet metal didn't look right though.
Yeah.
The sloppy fabricator.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they was all over each other. They did some fabricating from 3 to 4 on the
Well, that kid, that's his first time on a big track. He's only raced a half-mile track before that, so we didn't know he had it in him. Apparently he did, though.
Wow. He wasn't going to give, man.
Looked like Gooch up there. All right, here we go, guys. Rock and roll. Let's do it. Fire the engines. Good luck, everybody. I'm going to switch over and start broadcasting this. All right, everybody watching on YouTube live and later in the week here, watching on YouTube to catch up on the races in the twin 150s. This is the Gatorade Twin 150 race number 1. Stay Down is going to be starting on the pole. He has the pole for the Daytona 500. Him and Kip are going to be starting on the front row for the Daytona 500 based on their awesome qualifying times that they had. For this race, the twin number 1 150, Stay Down is going to be first. Tiernizzle is going to be starting on the outside of row 1. Row 2 is going to consist of Hossack and Carlin, 3rd and 4th. Row 3 is going to consist of Tony Moose and HCC, 5th and 6th. Row number 4 is going to consist of Rita St. James and Twindy, 7th and 8th. Row number 5 is going to consist of One Shoe 50 and Cat Guy, 9 and 10. Row number 6 is going to be Joey and Muttley. Wanma never made it to the field, so Joey is 11th, Muttley is 12th, and Gooch is going to be rounding out the field in the 13th spot in that lovely number 63 for the newly formed Base Motorsports. So we've got a couple different affiliations here. Pretty much everybody has shown. We don't have any independent drivers in the field. All these drivers were part of a team. And should be a good race. As we see all the cars lined up there on the starting grid. One car missing. That's got to be Wanma spot. Beautiful day here at Daytona International Speedway. We have medium clouds covering the area, but as you know, at Daytona, clouds roll in and out all the time. Lots of fans in the stands, probably more than there's ever going to be here at Daytona. And the cars are rolling down the front stretch, starting to warm up their tires and get in the correct position here as they are scooting around each other there at the back of the pack. It looks a little disorderly now, but they should be in single file before we know it. And everybody will be getting ready for a good race here. Alright, rolling through. Welcome the 6 people that are watching live right now. Again, a beautiful day here at Daytona. Look at all them beautiful Ford Fusions out on the track, ready to rock and roll here. Try and get a spot in the Daytona 500 next Sunday. Live right here on YouTube and on our Project Cars 2 consoles. It's going to be a great race. We've had the most qualifiers we've ever had for a Daytona 500. We had 28 cars attempt to make the field, and it's going to be a 16-car field, so we're going to have quite a few people going home. The top 4, including top 4 outside of our Stay Down Killin' on the pole. So Stay Down will make it out of this race, and 4 more drivers will make it out of this race, top finishers in this event. Then the rest of the provisionals are going to fall back on their qualifying times. We're watching the 33 car of HCC right here. We'll focus in on last year's champion as they're all coming into pit road here to make final adjustments on their cars. They are going to put 4 tires. They're going to fill them up with fuel, try to make it to the end. Pre-race calculations, we think they can make it all the way on a full tank of fuel as we see cars start to file into pit road here, make their adjustments. We see the crew members running out onto the pits. Got a couple people miss their pit stalls, it looked like. HCC and Rita missed their pit stalls, so they are getting in position there. And there's Rita's crew going to work, the JME Motorsports. There's HCC's crew standing around looking like a couple dumbasses. It's alright. Rita crew standing around too. We've got a couple of the cars finishing up there, dragging the tires across pit wall, finishing up their stops as we see these last 2 crews roll out here. We've got Stay Down, Tiernizzle, all of these coming back on. Looks like Tiernizzle's crew for the newly formed Base Motorsports is a very good pit stop as he came out of the pits in first place. You don't gain or lose positions on final adjustments though, so everybody's filing around, getting back into their regular positions here, getting ready to start this event. This is really one of the first kickoff races here for Speed Weeks. We've had Sports Car Challenge, we had our Marlboro All-Star Race for the IndyCars that was won by Rita St. James. We had our Busch Clash last night for these Winston Cup cars, a very good race last night. Cat Guy won the event, the Busch Clash. And this is our first real Winston Cup race. This is not a points bearing race, but this will get you into a points bearing race, so it's a pretty important race. Our first real race of Speed Weeks. Should be a good one. Again, a beautiful day here at Daytona. Cars are starting to get into their double file formation. Getting doubled up. They are getting a white flag from the spotter stand. And next time by, it'll be a race. All these cars at the keyboards of these cars. A lot of good, very good drivers that we have. A lot of new drivers also. We'll kind of take a ride on board of our pole sitter here. That's what you want to see here at Daytona. No cars in front of you. As we look at the dash here of Stay Down Killen's car. Very nice car here. He's an independent driver this season, so all the weight's on his own shoulders. Doesn't really have anybody to bounce ideas off of, but I think he's doing pretty damn well, winning the pole for the Daytona 500 as an independent driver. We'll go through the field here. We'll take a ride on board Tiernizzle's car here as we look out of his view. This is also what you want to see here. Beautiful car. You can see in his back mirror. All you see is that big old. This is also what you want to see here. All we see is that big old spoiler in the air, putting a lot of downforce. All right, Juanma, you can run race number 2. And we'll look back into our, as they get ready to go here, we'll take one last look at our Winston Cup champion from last year, the defending Daytona 500 champion. That is Hossack. So these guys are coming to the line to start this event. Should be a very good race here. And the green is out and the cars are rolling. Here they go. Race number 1 of the twin 150s. Cars go thundering down the front stretch here. Got Tony Moose going down low, knocking a couple cones out of the way. Little juking and jiving in the back there. Rita looks like she's really loose. HCC's up in the fence, getting loose. Oh, there's a little bit of a scramble there for the lead. It looks like former teammates Hossack and Tiernizzle are grouping up here, pushing each other on the outside, trying to make a run on our pole sitter. And we've got Carlin Hicks floating in behind, stay down, killing our pole sitter. Right now, a very close run. Looks like maybe a little side drafting off of Tiernizzle, as these guys are trying to make a run for the front here. Got Immortal Gooch and Muttley kind of bouncing off each other at the back of the pack as they try to get it sorted out where they want to run. Nobody's lost the draft yet. Looks like some very clean racing as Tiernizzle gets a nose ahead of Stay Down at this point, and Stay Down gets a good run down on the inside. Tiernizzle looks like he's coming back on the outside. Awesome 2x2 racing here for this twin 150. Very, very close racing as the number 24 is sucked right up to that 51 car, pushing as hard as he can. Looks like Tiernizzle and Hossack have a good thing going here. Hossack might have got a little high coming out of turn 4 and just touched the fence just a little bit. We got the 33 of HCC looking to the inside. He goes up and slams the wall, loses a lot of momentum as we got Joey right behind him in the 10 car. Very clean couple opening laps here. Good hard racing. This is what we want to see here in the SCL. Of course, these are the best of the best pilots of these Winston Cup cars. Looks like Gooch is kind of hanging out back right now, maybe trying to avoid the wreck. Looks like Muttley is falling off the pace. Not 100% sure what happened to Muttley, but he's all by himself back there. As we'll focus in on Twindy here. A lot of good hard racing going here in the middle of the pack. Well, a lot of these guys know it's kind of a sprint race, but it's a longer sprint race. So, oh, we've got a crash in the backstretch. Joey and Gooch. That is going to bring out our first caution of the event. Joey and Gooch have hit each other, and there is a wreck ensued. All the cars are slowing down. Looks like Joey got up into the fence, came back down right in front of Gooch. Gooch had nowhere to go, and that number 63 car got caught up in it. And that'll bring out our first caution of the event here on lap number 4. So good hard racing, no foul there. Looks like the rookie Joey just got a little loose up into the wall and tried to pull it off. Came right across Gooch's nose. Gooch really had nowhere to go. Looks like the whole field is formed up again and pit road will open. These guys will have a chance to come in and put 4 new tires on their car and roll back out onto the racetrack. Looks like we got quite a few people coming in. Don't know if they actually will or not. They might be faking it. A lot of fakers. Everybody fakes. Nobody is going to be pitting. We will be going green next time by. As a lot of people look like they might have wanted to pit there, but none of them actually did. I'd say they should have enough fuel to go all the way to the end. These tires are very hard compound on these tires here at Daytona, and they do not wear hardly at all, so that is not going to be an issue with tire wear. Alright, we've got 10 viewers watching. I'd imagine they're probably 10 of the people that are twin number 2. Lineup for twin number 2. Kip is going to be on the pole. It's PT is going to be second. Myself, Johnny Benson, is going to be third in the Sunday Cup League account. Daz is going to be starting 5th. Daz is going to be starting 4th. O'Brien 5th. Kelly Vital 6th. The Watcher is going to be starting 7th. Cold 8th. Baron Von Stosh 9th. Super 8 is going to be starting 10th. Roland 11th. Napoleon 12th. Myziel 13th. Rosta rounding out the field, and Late Edition didn't make it into the pit lane for the start of this race. He's going to transfer into the Twin 2. Wanma is going to be starting in the 15th position, final position for twin number 2. And that is going to be going off right after this event. Twin number 2. That's your starting lineup for number 2. As we are about to get going again here in race number 1. Tiernizzle made it around, stayed out and he is out front right now currently. And the green flag is in the flagman's hand. He is going to be waving it shortly, and we are going to get this race going one more time. And the green is out. There he goes, waving the flag, and the green is out. Hosek getting a huge run on the outside, shooting into second place, shooting all the way to first place with an awesome restart for the number 24. That's why he is the defending Winston Cup and Daytona 500 and Firecracker 400 champion. That number 24 car is undefeated here at Daytona in points races. Great looking ride too, isn't it? Air bubbles all over that thing. I love the colors. Green into yellow, black in the middle. We've got Gooch banging off the wall in the back, and he touches with Joey. Joey goes onto his lid. Joey flips over again, rolls back onto his wheels. That is another yellow between the same two drivers, Joey and Gooch. I'm sure they don't have any hard feelings. They are just very new to the SCL here. Gooch is not new to the SCL, but he is new to Project Cars, missing almost the entire first season on this game. Last season, season 22. As here we get into season 23. We've got Joey as a new driver to the series. We did not make a full lap, so we'll be going green again as soon as everybody gets lined up. Next time by, we'll be going green again. Hossack still not a lot of change up the front. Joey and Gooch got into a little melee there. We had instant replay. We'll show you the instant replay. There's a look at Gooch's car. Very good looking Brewster car here. Probably one of the best looking cars in the game, in my opinion. Looking pretty. He needs to get it going a little better than he has been. As we ride inside Gooch's car here. I think that first wreck, he really had nowhere to go. I got caught up in it. He might have been part of the second wreck. I'm not 100% sure, with it being in the background of the view there. But he is ready to get going again here in the first dual twin 150. Gatorade twin 150K. Green flag is in the air one more time, and they are rolling. Had two yellows slowing the pace of this race. It's looking like an awesome race. We got Rita knocking some cones all the way back there. Might want to keep an eye on Joey and Gooch. They might have the starting of a rivalry back there. So they have caused the first two yellows of the event. Hopefully nothing between the two. Looks like you're kind of getting single file here. We got three cars up in the outside lane with Tiernizzle, Twindy, and Cat Guy. Everybody else kind of rolling on the low side, trying to get... Low side is usually the fastest way around, but that top side has really been able to make it work here at Daytona this season. Look at the 24 car out front, making each line move, picking where he wants to go. Really in control of this event with that 24 car. Tiernizzle's getting a great run on the outside, but I think Tiernizzle and Hossack are working together very well, leading this field. Former teammates at BSE last season. Tiernizzle has moved over to the newly formed Base Motorsports with the immortal Gooch as a team owner over there, Tony Moose. Another hired driver. Looks like Tony Moose and Gooch are kind of hanging out in the back, and Tiernizzle's hanging up front, so they've got the whole field cover there for the newly formed Base Motorsports. Looking like a very good race. The only BSE car in the field is going to be your leader right now, Hossack, 24. All of the other BSE cars, Rosta, Barron, and myself, JB, are in duel number 2. So Hossack really doesn't have a lot of help, but the sister team is out there with the BSE and the Base Motorsports affiliation. And it looks like Gooch is actually moving up a little bit. Let's take a look back here at Gooch as he moves on the outside and tucks back in behind Muttley. He's trying to move up. Muttley gets sideways, then crashes into Gooch. Gooch cannot catch a break here as Tony Moose hits him too, and also Joey smashes into Gooch. Gooch had nowhere to go in that one. He just got caught up in it as Muttley hit the apron, came back on the track, collected Gooch. Tony came by, collected Gooch. Joey came by, collected Gooch. He's getting tossed around like a rag doll out there in these first 3 yellow flag periods of the event. Gooch is a little worse for wear out there. Tossed around like a rag doll. You saw that crash, folks. It was pretty intense. I'm glad I took a look back there at Gooch right when it happened, so we caught all the action here live on the Sunday Cup Racing Network. So we'll do a little rundown here. We'll look at the field correctly right now. Hossack up front, Tiernizzle. Looks like Hossack and Tiernizzle have exactly the same best laps. Looks like Rita St. James. No, it looks like Joey has the fastest lap of the race. Joey the fastest lap of the race, but he's not really showing it, being caught up in those yellows all the way back there in 10th. I think being in the back of the pack, he got a huge suck up draft and was able to make a lap like a 46.080. That's your running order right now. You can see them at the top of the screen too, up in the left corner. I think pits will be open this time by. We made at least a couple laps here. Pits are open. We got a couple people showing their hand, look like they might want to pit. Don't know if anybody will be, as I believe we can make it the full way on the tank of gas. Nope, just Tony Moose is pulling down pit road. Tony Moose pulling down pit road. We'll take a look at his car as he pulls into the pits here. Makes a couple adjustments here. They're adding fuel. Looks like he's not taking tires. Looks like he might have just topped up the tank a little bit. We'll check with scoring here from inside his car. Look, the guys are sitting there with the tires ready to roll. Don't think those are the tires or the rims that go on this car. But he is rolling again out of the pits. He took a little bit of fuel, possibly tires. Getting back on the track and ready for another restart. He might have got a little damage in that contact with Gooch. They might have just buffed out the damage, maybe a little bit of bear bond on that car. As he catches up to the field here. New car for Gooch this season. Very good looking Flynn air filters car. The number 2. Back there with his teammate Gooch. And they're going to try and get going again here as we roll through the field. Look at some of these cars. New faces and new places this season here in the SCL. But one car that has remained the same from last season, one of the only cars to remain the same driver from last season, is this number 24. Another car that remains the same is Twindy in the 32, Rita in the 14, One Shoe in the 50. But pretty much everybody else has changed cars that are in this event. Beautiful day here at Daytona, and the green flag is out one more time. As these cars try to get going here down the front stretch through the tri-oval. Whoa, Hosek was all the way on the apron there after an awesome start way out in front. Luckily, he was way out in front because he caught the apron and shot up the track. 150's making a run on the outside with the help from Stay Down Killing. Those guys are going for the lead down the backstretch. That outside lane is really working. It showed to be a very good way to pass during the Busch Clash last night. Hell of a battle for the lead here, 2 by 2 by 2. That's these back markers. Gooch and Tony are trying to push their way up. Joey looks like he might have just lost the draft. Gooch and Tony might be able to push back up into it. Muttley's hanging on right at the end with one shoe just hanging out in the back. I know one shoe's probably got a fast car. He can push up if he wants to. But he's smarter than that. He's just hanging out right now in that 50's Apenol car. Again, up to the front. Very good race here as Twindy has taken the lead and moves down in front of Hosek. Twindy's going to try the lane blocker move that Hosek showed earlier in the race. Oh, a little bit of contact between Hosek and Twindy as Hosek goes below the line, tries to gradually push up in. We've got a wreck between Tiernizzle and Rita St. James. Those two cars got together on the high side as Hosek tried to push his way in. Looks like Tiernizzle might have came up into Rita a little bit there. And another yellow flag is on the speedway with a couple of wrecked cars. Tiernizzle, Rita St. James. I believe Joey, Tony, everybody else got through it. But Tier and Rita getting together on the front stretch, causing this wreck. I don't know what happened to Gooch there. He's way down on the inside trying to get it going again. Couple more fakers. Nobody making pit stops in this race. Nobody having to make pit stops in this race. They want to have the least amount of fuel as they can at the end to make a run for the win. Top 4 cars are making it in outside of Stay Down Killing. So right now it's going to be Carlin, leader of the race, Twindy, Hosek, and OGR Cat Guy, winner of last night's Busch Clash, would be the transfer cars if the race finished now, but we have a long way to go here in twin number 1. The twin 150, Gatorade twin 150s here. Qualifying races for next Sunday's Daytona 500, the Great American Race. We have about a 72 degrees here, beautiful partly cloudy day here at Daytona Beach, Florida, as we look at HCC's number 33 car. Track temp is all the way up to 84 degrees. Now, twin number 2 is going to be a night race, as it is after this event, as the sun is slowly starting to set here at Daytona. Twin number 2 track, I think, is going to cool down. The grip's going to increase. Usually the way these twins go, if one's a wreck fest, the second one isn't, or vice versa. If the second one is clear, the second one has a wreck fest, the first one is a clear race. Usually we have one very green flag looking race and one very yellow flag looking race. Might be turning into a very yellow flag looking race, as I think we have 4 or 5 cautions already here, and only going into 20 laps, so we're about to get the green flag here to restart this thing. Hopefully all these drivers hold together here. We will take an onboard look from OGR Cat Guys to get a restart here. He is following champion of the Winston Cup Series. Looks like a pretty clean start up at the front. I can hear HCC right next to him here. Let's take a look at where he is right below. Cat guy can't come down because HCC's there. Looks like Twindy's in the fence, going very slow up top. As we ride along with Tiernizzle here, making his way back through the pack. Looks like Twindy's just getting back up to speed here. Thinking about going down in front of Muttley, but did choose not to. We got right along with Gooch here. Looks like Tiernizzle's or Twindy's gonna fall right in behind Muttley. We got Rita St. James way behind. She must have had some trouble in the restart with Tony and Joe. With your front pack here, Gooch is trailing this front pack, steadily moving up through the field into 10th now. Trying to get a hold of his new racing rig that he got. His new wheel, his new system, his new game. Everything's new here for Gooch, as he missed a lot of last season's races. Got a little bit of congestion up front. Gooch is making his run on the high side, getting past a couple cars, moving on up. Moving on up for Gooch. So we got a little bit of congestion there down the back stretch. Might have had a little bit of contact, but it looks like they've sorted their way out. No yellow, still going green. A little bit of side drafting looks like from Gooch and his teammate Tiernizzle. Gooch is going. Remember who pays the bills there, Tiernizzle. Oh, Gooch is in the fence up high, falling back, going down under the apron, trying to get back up to speed. We've got his teammate Tony here. Might pick Gooch up and try to get him a good draft. Gooch is going too slow. Tony couldn't do anything about that. Gooch is getting back into the fence, falling to the back. Not looking good for Gooch at this point. Good hard racing here at the front of the pack though. Welcome all you new viewers watching this live and watching this later in the week. A lot of good hard racing going on here in Gatorade Twin number 1. Again, top 4 cars are going to make it into the race for the Daytona 500. Everybody else is going to have to fall back on their qualifying times if they're good enough. Right now it's going to be Carlin. Oh, we've got a wreck. We've got a wreck between a couple cars there. It looks like Twindy and Muttley. Did not get a look at that one as we were riding on board. Twindy and Muttley are getting going again. Caution flag is waving again, as this has been quite a caution-strewn event here for this first twin. But right now your transfers would be Carlin Hosick, OGR Cat Guy, and One Shoe. Those are your top 4. They would make it into the Daytona 500. Strictly on their finishing order of this event. Looks like we have no takers for the pits. We'll be rolling around again next time. As all these cars make their way around under reduced pace. Again, the highest qualifying group we have ever had for a Winston Cup event for tomorrow, or next Sunday's Daytona 500. 28 cars attempting to make a 16-car field. By my calculations, 12 cars are going home, the most ever from a Winston Cup event. And these cars will start to get packed up again here. Try and make a run at it. Getting later and later in this race, it's becoming more and more real. Seeing who's going to make it into this Daytona 500 starting lineup. We have a car on up front. What I like to do sometimes is kind of pick a car in the back of the pack, do an onboard ride with him as he gets up through the gears for this restart. Looks like they're getting closer and closer to it here. And the green flag is out, and they are rolling. Well, it looks like they got called off. They did not go green that time. It got called off. We'll have one more pace lap here as we get everything sorted out. Looks like Twindy pulled into the pits. Apparently they didn't open the pits the first time by. And Twindy just made his way into pit road. So he gets change of tires and a drink and back off again. We'll see what Twindy can do from the back of the pack here on this restart. Looks like he might have slid his tires a little bit during that caution and didn't feel very well about them. So he got a change. And here we go, going green again. Jamming up through the gears. Let's see what happens here. Really nowhere to go for him right there between Muttley and Tony. We'll go up a little closer through the field here as Joey has a jump. We'll watch some of these cars as they try to battle for a position here. Getting late in the event, tempers are starting to flare just a little bit maybe. Nerves are going back. We got a wreck. Carlin's wrecking. Gooch is wrecking, of course. He gets caught up in that. Big wreck. Big wreck. Oh, I don't want to quit session. There's that Brewster car getting going again, but it looks like Carlin was a big part of that wreck. I don't know what happened to him up front there. He must have got a little contact with somebody. Sent him stopped in the middle of the field. Collected by Muttley, Gooch, Twindy. Carlin not having a good go at it. Was just leading the field a little bit ago. And now he's in 12th position. We didn't get a full lap in there, so they should not be open road. We should be going this time by. Let's see what happens here. So we'll go back to the front of the pack here. Watch these cars. Austin gets another restart here. He's solidly make this race. He has recent S Champions provisional to fall back on, so he will definitely be in the 500 either way, but it looks like he's trying to race his way into this event. Right now it's going to be Hosek, One Shoe, HCC, and Tiernizzle making it in strictly on their race. Good battle for the lead here. So we have about 10 laps to go in this event. A little bit of juking and jiving. 2 packs formed here with Muttley hanging out back. Good racing going on in this first pack. Second pack looks like they might be a little bit more scattered, and that could be why they're in the second pack here. Oh, we got a wreck. Tony is flying up through the air. Tony is wrecking hard, flipping that car multiple times, flying through the air, coming back on his feet. That is going to be a yellow flag situation there. As Twindy makes his way by, he probably got involved with that, Twindy and Tony. Tony not having the best run at it here. Former Winston Cup champion. Not having the best of days here in the twin. A lot of these drivers are starting to realize these ones running in the back of the pack. Tony, Twindy, Muttley, the Gooch, Joe, even Carlin. A lot of these guys are starting to realize they might not make it into the Daytona 500. Especially if they had a poor qualifying time. Gooch had not a good run in qualifying, neither did Muttley or Joey or really Cat Guy for that part. So Cat Guy looks like he's solidly in right now with a 3rd place position for the race. But Gooch, Muttley, and Joey really got to make something happen if they want to make it into next Sunday's field for the Great American Race. Alright, 10 laps to go in this event. Again, the clock's ticking for these guys in the back of the pack. We're looking at Gooch here in the cash car. Or we're looking at Carlin here in the cash car. Sorry about that. Number 4 cash car. Carlin drove the 12 car last season. He's in the 4 car this season. Trying to make something happen here. Carlin had one of the top 10 times, so he will probably be able to fall back on his time to get into the Daytona 500 if he does not finish in the top 4 of this event. So some of these guys really are not that worried about it. Hosek doesn't have to be worried about it, but he wants to win this thing and do it that way. Get into the race with a win. Start 3rd in the event next week. So as we get going again here, green flag is out one more time, and the cars will roll up to speed here, jam through the gears, and see if they can make it happen here late in the event. Nice clean restart it looks like. Oh, Gooch and Twindy get together there in the back of the pack. Slight contact, they both keep going here. Luckily it didn't cause a wreck. Gooch has made himself up into the 10th position. He's got to get a little bit further up if he wants to try and make it into the race. Gooch has to finish in the top 4. Not saying it can't be done, it's just getting a little late in the event to do it from a 10th place position. Because all these cars up front are solid cars. Solid cars. Looks like we've got the two former teammates up front here leading the show. Tyrrell just barely making his nose out in front there, with a huge push from 150 behind him, and HCC is on the 24 cars back bumper pushing him right now. It looks like Hossek's got a good run in it, and HCC's making his way into second. Currently your top four: Hossek, HCC, Tyrrell, and Cat Guy be making it into the Daytona 500 on the finishing of this race. But Gooch is hanging around in the back there. He still's got a chance of this thing. Even if it goes all the way green till the end, he still has a shot at making it. Oh, we've got a wreck. We've got Rita and the car of Stay Down Killin', our pole sitter. He had to reset because he was on his side. Rita and Stay Down Killin' got together there. That's going to throw another caution flag and another monkey wrench into what's going to happen here. Oh, Rita's doing jumps and knocking over signs. Alright, maybe she thinks this is a rallycross event. But either way, those cars got together, caused a little bit of a wreck here. Yellow flag is thrown as the sun is starting to set, and these shadows are getting longer here at Daytona. We'll take a ride on board here, and you can see that sun just starting to go down below the front grandstand here as the sun is setting here at Daytona. And a beautiful day is going to turn into one hot night here, I think, in the second twin race. Again, just going off of the trends, this race has had a lot of caution flags, and the trend is one race has a lot of cautions, the second twin will not. So hopefully we have a nice green flag runs here in the second twin. But you never know. We got a couple of fresh rookies in the second twin, Watcher and Meisel, which could affect a green flag run. But right now, looks like we're getting very, very close to the end here. About 6 laps remaining in this event. I think it's going to be about 2 more laps and it will be green till they finish for this event. Pit road will open this time by. Let's see if there's any takers. I really doubt anybody from the front is going to pull in right now. For that matter, anybody from the back either is going to pull in right now. None of these cars look like they're going to take a pit stop. Oh, we have a wreck. We have a wreck under caution. Looks like Tony Moose faked going into the pits, came back up, caught Twindy. Twindy said, screw it, I might as well pit. Twindy's coming into the pits here. He got spun out at the beginning of pit road there. Decided to make a run. We've got my car sitting there, the 22 Archer Jeans car for BSE. Sitting there waiting for me to hop in it after the sun sets here, and we get this night race going for twin number 2. Should be a great event. Can't wait to get in that hot rod, and it has a good run. Last night in the Busch Clash was right in it until I tagged the fence on the outside on the last lap. Thought I had a run at the win for the Busch Clash, but OGR Cat Guy, who was pushing me the whole event there at the end, finished out front, picks up his first Busch Clash victory. OGR Cat Guy. We'll go on board OGR Cat Guy and for this final restart here and see if he can get his way up there and make a win here in the twins. He is on the outside looking in to get into the event next Sunday. Alright, we're rolling around watching that sunset here, as it's right in the driver's eyes as they come off turn 4. Hopefully that's not going to affect him at all as they come down here into the tri-oval. It's we try to get a restart here as we ride along with last night's winner of the Busch Clash, Cat Guy. Long time runner in the SCL. Anticipating the start, green flag is out. Cat Guy's trying to make his way up through here. He's got one shoe and HTC in front of him. He's making a run on the outside, around one shoe. Trying to get into that fourth spot. Does a little bit of side draft. One shoe does a little side draft to him, but he's making that run. He's into fourth place and he's locked into the field right now. One shoe's making another run down low. Looks like a very good fight here for this final transfer spot. As Cat Guy just a little bit. He's getting some pull off of Tiernizzle's car in front there. As HTC's looking for that second spot. Cat Guy almost gets in the fence. Close as you can get without getting in the fence. He's making a run on the one shoe right now. Right behind Tiernizzle. Making his run up into the top four. It's a very good spot. We'll go back to Joe here, the rookie, as he is on the outside looking in here. He's also doing a good job. He's made contact with Carlin. Joe flies up. Big, huge wreck there between Carlin and Joe. Wreck on the track. I believe we are going green till the end here, guys. Those cars are out of it. Gooch has made his way up into the sixth spot. Looks like he has just barely lost the draft, but with as big as these spoilers are in this car, he's making his run back up into it here. Gooch in the sixth spot might have a shot at it here at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
Rita might be too far back to make anything happen. Gooch has caught the pack. Gooch might have one more say at this before it is over to try and get into this event. He finally avoided a wreck. Gooch did. But right now Hossig's out front with HCC pushing him. HCC's been Hossig's wingman the entire event. There's one shoe scooting back and forth trying to make something happen here. Gooch is probably a little weary to get up in the pack, but he's doing everything he can to make that fourth place finish at least. As they come around, they're getting the 2 to go signal. White flag is going to come out next time by. We're having a very good race here. The top 5 stuck together with Gooch and one shoe on the outside looking in right now. Great race going on. Oh, he wrecks by himself. Gooch hits the apron and wrecks by himself. He's out of it. Gooch is out of it. Terrible luck for Gooch. As right now you've got 5 cars going for 4 spots. As we are watching one shoe here, he has to make his way past the Cat Guy. That's going to be the race to get into the 500. Right now it looks like Prospect Tier, Nizzle, HCC locked into it. Those two are fighting for that final spot. White flag is out one more time around. We'll see what they can do here. Great racing up the front. 5 cars trying to make 4 spots. Nobody's locked into it. Neither of these guys could still go on. As we said, defending champion 24 cars are really into the field. Right now nobody knows who's going to win. He's trying to win here and remain undefeated. At Daytona, Nizzle gets a bump. One who shoots him up in the fence. Right now, Cat Guy's on the outside looking in. Doesn't know if he's going to make it to the 500. It doesn't look like he's going to make it into the 500. Your winner is Hossack, 24, getting the win with HTC second, Tiernizzle third, and one shoe field. Those guys are going to make it into the 500. Great racing from the front. And that's your final finishing order for the number 1, taking the win. The BSE car pushing the win out front, taking the win. HCC Did a very good job finishing second spot. Tierney third, one shoe fourth. Those guys locked into next week's Daytona 500. Fifth place is Cat Guy. Twindy is in sixth spot, finishing order. Rita St. James seventh. Gooch, terrible luck there at the end. He might have got into it, but Gooch is going to be eighth. Moose and ninth. 10th. Joey finishing 11th. Stayed on 12th, but he's locked in with your pole position. Carlin Hicks and running out the field. Carlin Hicks. Switch over to the chat here. Hey guys, great racing. We're gonna have a little talk here with Hossack. How'd you win that thing, Hossack? Looked like some good racing out front there. Great job, nice way to make it in. You were locked in anyway, but might as well go out with a win. HTC, you made it into the 500. How does that feel, buddy? Very good racing there at the end. It came down to 5 cars trying to make 4 spots. Tierney, you made it in 2. What do you got to say?
It's a good race overall. I tried to look back. Then I got nicked, but all the speeds. I'm not disappointed with third, so it's good fun.
Yep, made it in. One shoe. What do you got to say? You made final transfer position here. 1 shoe 50, make it into the Daytona 500 one more time. That's got to feel good.
Considering last season,
Yeah, can't do it by yourself, that's for sure. OGR Cat Guy, you didn't make it in through the field. You're on the outside looking in, just hoping to make it in on your time. What do you think there, Cat Guy? You had a good run at the end. Is what it is. Great, buddy. A little bit of caution flag melee, but hopefully number 2 will be a little better here as the sun's starting to go down here at Daytona. We're going to sign off the air right now. We will catch you for the next race here as Carlin's going to be broadcasting from the booth, and I'm going to be out on the track trying to make my way into the 500. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in a little bit.